Good afternoon, everyone. We are a team of four presenting you our Android mini project, My Weather app. I am Ramakrishna and my team members are Varaprasad, Niklesh, and Yashwant Naidu. Now let's dive into the presentation. Today, this is what I'm going to present to you with. In the beginning, we'll talk about what made us take up this project. Next, features of the app, drawbacks in such similar apps. Later on, our project methodologies, software principles, timeline, and our planning. Finally, we'll talk about future applications and advancements in this Android app. Beginning with the motivation, what made us do this app and our idea behind this app. We all want a day that we plan to be. Definitely, yes. Having up to date information about weather helps us make well advanced and successful decisions, isn't it? So, the furtherance of weather forecasting is developing a weather app. Coming to the features of this app, we are going to provide three features like weather description based on location search, temperature based on specific location, and finally complete weather forecast report of that particular place you are keen to know.
So, talking about the tools and technologies we used, the first main thing Android Studio, which is a platform to support and build Android apps. Next, XML for UI and UX design layout. Figma for complete app modeling and design, and Java which is a programming language for our application development. GitHub is for our team collaboration. Postman, which is a public weather API used as a REST API used to test and build powerful weather apps, and the weather APIs are for the application programming interfaces that provides us with the access to current and historical weather data on a global scale. And at the end, we will use Google Play Store for the application deployment to make it publicly available. Coming to the methodology, we are outlined to use incremental model, which belongs to the software development cycle of software engineering. Implementing it with our application, we are segregating the application into four modules, and every subsequent release of this module adds function to the previous release. Each module releases includes requirement analysis, design and development, testing, and implementation respectively.
The modules part of our project. First, as a team, we designed and we plan to divide our project into four different modules, excluding the deployment of the app. Like first, we'll do designing of the app layout, then developing user input controls, background and material design, drawables, themes in the app, and background themes, and finally API development and testing. At the last stage, we use Google Play Store for the application deployment to make it publicly available. And this is our timeline chart, monthly timeline chart we designed to develop this application. Like this application needs approximately 90 to 100 days of time period to bring to the final stage of deployment. This is how the plan goes from September 2021 to December 2021. Each month, we outline to develop the app with a software development lifecycle framework steps like communication, planning, design modeling, development testing, and finally deployment and maintenance. First, literature survey in the September, UI UX design, that is front end using XML in October 2021, and developing using Java in November, and finally deployment in December. Each step includes a certain process to follow up, and as a team we abide to the rules, software guidelines and principles.
Today, this is what we are going to present with you. In the beginning, we'll talk about what we have been developing in this project. Next, design of the app and UML diagrams. Later on, our project demo, prototype, and our project progress. Finally, we'll be talking about future applications and advancements in this Android app. Beginning with the modules, we as a team designed to divide our project into four different modules. First is user module, which requires a smartphone, good internet connection, the application module in the mobile. Next, mobile module has an Android version, hardware requirements, the application module in the mobile. Next, app module, which has a user services, touch feature, request information, verify location. And finally, API module, which has request location, search location, verify location, and weather data.
Okay, coming to the design of our app, in the design phase, I and my team used Figma for complete app modeling and design of the application layout and some important UML diagrams like the use case, class, activity sequence, and data flow diagrams in the Lucid Earth. A web-based proprietary platform to collaborate on drawing charts and software diagrams. Let's discuss in detail the app design. Okay,
Coming to the
coming to the
okay,
application layout, we used Figma for complete app modeling, and that same design was used to write the XML code for the app. Look at the design. Our Android app layout looks exactly similar to the way we designed here.
Coming to the use case diagram, in the unified modeling language, a use case diagram can summarize the details of system users, also known as actors, and their interactions with the system. Here we have two actors, whether API and mobile app user. Each of these interact with the system to produce or consume data. Weather API will update weather synopsis, temperature at a particular location, weather forecast report, and the current day prediction. And the user can search for a location, view the complete weather report in detail.
Now coming to the class diagram. Class diagram is a static diagram. Like it will represent the static view of the application. This class diagram is not only for documenting or visualizing or describing the aspects of the system, but it will also help in writing the code, like constructing the code for the software. Here basically we have four main classes for the project. The app module deals with the requesting location, verifying user entered location, and API module will fetch the data of that location. And activity diagram, we use activity diagram to illustrate the flow of control in the system, and it will also show how the one by one how the steps are involved in the execution of a use case. And this is how the workflow. And first the user will enter the location, and the it will app will search for the location. It will check the location is found or not. If the location is not found, it will display an error. If the location is found, it will display the weather report or weather forecast and temperature of that particular location. And here it is the location verification, whether it is present or not, is done by the app, and user input is done by user. And next, displaying of weather report and temperature is done by the API. Next, coming to the sequence diagram, and here sequence diagram will show how the how the objects are interacting in the time sequence. Like it depicts the objects that are involved in the project and the sequence of messages that are exchanged between the objects and the functionality of the system. Like the user, when it will open the app will respond, and when the user will enter location, the app will check whether it entered location is valid or not. If that is not valid, it will display an error message as shown in the diagram. Like it will fetch back the uh, message or reply to the user input. Then uh, it will exchange the information between the objects and the functionality in this scenario. Coming to the data flow diagram, a data flow diagram will show how the flow of information is carrying in the project. Next, the left hand side shows the inputs to the system, and right hand side shows the outputs of the system. And the below one depicts, like it shows whether the weather data API is the data store or repository which will hold the information. Like we have used an open source API from WeatherBit. So this is how we have drawn the data flow diagram. And coming to coding part, we have converted the system design prototype into design phase and working on it. Now I'll show the we have used incremental as we have used the incremental model in of software engineering. The testing and development of modules is done in parallel. Now, like, and after coding, we have worked on unit test. Beginning with unit testing, we tested the project. Now I'll show the working demo of the project. So this is how the app actually looks. First, here, if any if a user enters any date, like any location, any here it will fetch the current location and it will give location like weather report of that particular location. If we directly click on, it will display a toast like please enter city name. So this is a user input validation. And if we search for a location, like suppose example I'm searching for Guntur, it will display the temperature, then the weather condition, the climate condition, and then the weather forecast on like particular time from 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It will predict, and based on the time it will fetch the background date, like background. Suppose current it is daytime, so it is showing like, because the climatic condition, it is showing mist, so that is a background. And if suppose if I take some other location, like I'm going for Texas in USA, it will show again the background, because it is based on time, it is night time, so it is showing background as dark. So that is night. And it's the same, the temperature it will display on the forecast report. So this is a basic like this is how the app works. Basically the logic of the app is very simple. It will find the device location, like it will find the device location and location coordinate, the longitude and latitude. Then it will send the data to the API via some API key. So that weather API key is generated from weather bit. So, and like weather bit is an open source where we can create an account and get an API key of open source weather data. So it keeps on updating, and it will send us, it will that API is will send us a JSON, like JavaScript object notation, and that JSON we have encoded it into Java, like we have used JSON Java related, and we wrote the code. So basically he's here, like that JSON is fetched using, and we have extracted the required data from the JSON, like weather data, temperature, and temperature of the city and location, like that. So this is how the app works. Now coming to uh, I've showed the project demo. Now coming to the project progress, we have successfully completed the literature survey, gathering all the requirements, and we have completed the design phase. Then development phase, the project is completed, and coming to the deployment phase, it is halfway done. Now we have planning to convert this app into an APK and host it somewhere. Like the user can download a web platform. Like on a web platform, the user can download this APK by clicking just download now button. So this is the project progress till now.
So what
Last
what's
but
last?
not least, here comes the future application of the product that includes agriculture, planner journey, and fishing and boating. For agriculture, this app is used to predict the climatic condition beforehand, and which has a major advantage to farmers to plan for which type of crop to grow. Not only that, advantage in this app will also help them to analyze the soil moisture and other crop details. When where for plan a journey, you never want the nature to spoil your fun when you have a plan for a family or friends trip. Exactly. At that time, this plan is a lifeline for you to know your weather condition beforehand at any particular place. Fishing and boating. Similarly, like agriculture, this app also helps the fishermen to predict the situation in coastal areas, as fishing is the livelihood of farmers and weather is the savior. Our part is not limited to this application. There are many practical scenarios where such as often used by the weather department, meteorological department, and many other. Let's end to begin. It's like let's conclude it and start the developing and maintaining the app. Thank you. And we are open for you for doubts.
In the final, for the final review, we have implemented the rate app module, and then the home page I have given reference, like hyperlinks to into the main app, then about the app, and then rate app. So this is just how it looks. This is the home page, how it looks. If we click on weather forecast, it will direct into the main app. If we click on about app, it will display the, like, about this app. And then if we click on rate app, this is implemented for final review. It will ask for to give rating. So 1 star it will display did not like, 2 need some improvement, you can 3 like that, and you can type what you want. So if we click on submit, it will say thanks for rating this app. This is this one we updated, sir. And if we go into the main app, it will display like this. If we enter any city name, like if we leave it as empty field, it will display a toast message, please enter city name. This is just like validating empty fields. And if we select any place, like suppose if I am selecting an invalid place, like, and if I click on search, it will say please enter valid city name. So until user enters a valid city name, it will not give proper data. If a valid city name is entered, then it will display temperature and forecast report of complete entire day and its climatic condition. Actually, this is coming from an API that is generated by WeatherBit. Like the main logic is, uh, the device, when the place is entered, the device coordinates like longitude and latitude are fetched from that API, and complete data, that JSON data is converted into a readable format, and it is used to display here. We have deployed it into a website, sir, where we can directly click on download APK. It will download into our phone and we can install the APK.